What's up, everybody? I'm Rob J. Speck, the host, and I'm here to introduce to you another episode of Split Decisions. And my dudes, Ricky and Sean. What's up, guys?
Chilling, man, chilling. Episode 13, baby. Lucky number 13. I'm happy to be here. Today felt different. I always enjoy coming, spending time with you guys, and I always enjoy recording this one. But today felt different. Like today, hours ago, I was like, dude, I can't wait to record this for some. I can't wait to see them. Good mood, man. Good energy. I needed to see my boys. Need to talk about some combat sports. I can't wait for it. Thank you guys. If you guys are watching, if you guys have been watching, thank you so much. You mean the world to us.
Hell yeah. Sean, what's up, dude?
Oh, they say you guys mean the world to them, right? Guess who doesn't mean the world to them? Me, right? Because they didn't send me the text message. Oh, we're a collared shirt tonight. We're a button up. No, they left me alone. They left me looking like a goofball fuck down here all alone. Well, they look all sharp and handsome up there. Well, guess what, guys? I'm still here for you. We're here for you. We're going to bring you another good week, episode 13, like you said. Back for another one. Good things to come. Hot topics as always. Rob, what do you got for us?
And this guy just flexing with his he was there UFC 302 shirt. Whatever's. Nice shirt, by the way, dude. This week, since already talking about UFC, we'll just jump right into that. Is none. There's no UFC. What a bummer. It sucks. And I'll just share that sometimes it's good though. We've been really, really spoiled since 2020. I'll be honest, like since the past COVID era, like
do you have COVID?
Yeah, you see how they named it some dumb stuff called flirts now? They're like, well, you got the flirts. Like, just look it up.
Bro. I don't even pay. I'm so far past that.
Yeah, I'm immune to all of it. Try. So, anyways, no UFC, but I just want to say in the modern era, very, very spoiled, blessed to have so many fights, and it's like, it's also crazy that like even on a non-UFC weekend, we're still gonna have a lot of fights, and I mean. We just have to think about we're past now technically the halfway point of the year, and scheduling being what it may. I didn't even realize this until the dudes brought it up just a second ago. To be honest, I didn't realize I'm gonna say it respectfully, the weakness of schedule. I'll say it like the other guys talking about sports say, the weakness of schedule in the upcoming cards. Little lackluster, right, guys? I mean, Ricky was the one who's kind of. I'm going to point at you because you brought it up. I'm pointing at you.
I mean, hey, listen, it was Sean's topic, but I'm not scared of the topic, man, for sure. Right, this week is off, and then following up 2 cards that are headlined by female fights. We know how majority of people feel. The odds of us seeing a finish in a female fight is a lot lower than in a male fight. It is what it is. That's just the truth of it. It's not an opinion. That's a fact. You can look at the statistics. And because the fights not only were the headline cards kind of a little bit lackluster already, but it's a replacement fight. Right. So if you were one of the people that were excited about a Thug Rose and a Macy Barber, how much more excitement do you have now that it's Rose and Tracy Cortez? Right. Somebody who's going to be coming for different reasons, I'm assuming, but somebody who's coming in short notice, taking the opportunity. I really just don't like her odds in it. But regardless, this is coming off of a big UFC event. And it just seems like we're looking forward. We're looking past, or at least the community, I've been getting the feeling, is looking past these into the next big UFC pay-per-view event. And that's why, I agree. What Sean was saying, and Sean's probably going to speak to it a lot more, but I agree with him in the sense that, this is kind of the low point. It kind of feels like the NFL, NBA off season is what we're going through right now in the UFC, where we're just like, these next couple of weeks, man, it's not really piquing our interest that much. So I don't know, Sean, you could go further into it if you want.
I just want to before go there and Sean gets into it, I just want to say a couple things. One, how come when a guy jumps in short notice, everybody wants to give him credit and parade him and go, hell yeah. When Tracy Cortez does it, it's got to be because it's straight. Oh, it's good. Like, no, it's cool. It's cool.
No, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool for her, but I'm just saying. I don't like the matchup. I'm not excited for the matchup.
If Tracy
too much for her.
If Tracy beats Rose, though, doesn't that just launch Tracy into a fucking into a whole new stratosphere,
Of
basically.
course, of course. So what if Dustin beat Islam, right?
No, I'm not. That,
What if Yuri knocked out Alex Perez? Like, if bro,
Okay,
I
but
just
Sean,
don't like the matchup. I just don't like the matchup for Tracy.
Sean,
Bro.
what about you, man? What about you, bro?
What about me? I hate that you guys threw me under the bus for making this topic, but it's true. If you guys want me to be the bearer of bad news to the women, I'll be it. I'm not looking forward to it. We have a week off, and then we're coming back to some boring shit. Oh my god, Rose versus Tracy. Come on now. I mean,
Woo!
like crazy. The thing is, I'm looking at the main card, right? What else is on here? We got Drew Dober, Mike Davis. That's the. Let me just tell you guys, that is the highlight for the next 2 weeks. Drew Dober versus Mike Davis, because I'm looking at all these other fights, and to me, maybe they're good matchups. Nothing really stands out. And the week after, let me just see here. Who do we have? Amanda Lemos, Verna Jandiroba.
Wait. Pause, small pause, and I go into next week. I just want to jump in here, and you guys, both you guys, I am so upset and hurt by you, both of you, because this week, this whole week, this whole card, this whole card right here, you can find on the AllStar Sports app, right?
I can't see shit, dog.
I know you can't because you don't got your glasses on. You're going full Millhouse on us. Joshua Van and Charles Johnson is on the Namajunas Cortez card.
That just got added today.
Yes.
Don't make me
That
feel.
just got added
Don't
today.
turn me into a bad guy, bro. Don't turn me into a bad guy.
So what I'm saying is, guys,
that just got added today.
Now this card is huge. Shout out Charles Johnson. Love you, bro. And yeah, man. Now because he's jumping in short notice. They've been talking a little shit, slice and slice back on the internet. I like it. Like, you know, let's go. Let's
not exaggerate, bro. The fight's not huge. It's still the flyweight division, and I'm looking through the other. I'm looking at the other card here, right? We still have Verna Jandiroba, and I like Verna Jandiroba as much as the next person does. But come on, headlining another card. I mean, I don't want to see that. There's nothing on that card that really excites me, guys. Like,
bro, what do you
it's
mean?
not just the matchup, it's the implications too. Like, what do any of these fights mean within the division? Like, none of these fights have huge implications for the division that they're in. None of them are like, oh man, they win this fight, they get a title fight. Like, there's nothing on these cards that leads you to that. Now, with that being said, it doesn't mean that these cards still can't be bangers, right? Usually, when we have cards that look like shit on paper, they end up having bunch of knockouts, a bunch of finishes, so that's a hope for it. But on paper, yeah, man, I can't go crazy about these cards.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm using my executive host powers right here. I'm just jumping in. I don't know who these guys are. I was doing a wonderful show with them for 13 weeks in a row, and it's been fabulous. And then they just come out and just start saying all this weird stuff.
Fuck these cards, man.
That I don't understand what they're talking about at all. No, okay, guys. Remember, it's not gonna be fucking UFC 300s every day of our lives. Correct. But on this card, the Lemos Jandiroba card that Sean is so excited about, there's 2 fights right now that I'm super excited about. One, Duho Choi. Why? Fun name to say.
All right. Okay.
He's going against Bill Algeo, and these guys are totally forgettable. Everybody forgets about them all the time. Okay. If something awesome happens between either the two of these totally forgettable guys, they become memorable. See what I'm saying? Like, no, everybody likes the pearl. Nobody likes the clam. You gotta like. Well, some people like the clam.
Please put up the let him cook meme in the middle right here, where Rob is like trying to cook this one up because you are not selling this one to me, dude.
Okay, no, but the one
rib, bro.
That was the appetizer.
That was putting hot dogs and spaghetti and being like, look at this fucking meal.
That was the appetizer. The real banger on the card, and everybody knows this one for sure, is Hawaii's own Brad Tavares. Going against the Iron Turtle, Jung Young Park. All right, Iron Turtle.
No, I like all those people. It's not like I have anything against all those people, but you know, to quote Austin Powers movie, but what does it all mean, Basil?
Whoop-de-doo! What does it all mean, Basil?
What is this? What does it mean for the divisions? Nothing. If one of those guys win, you know what it means? It means they're gonna have to win again and again and again for them to crack into a title spot. And I know not every fight has to be for a number one contender spot for the next guy, but like that's what really excites you. That's what really gets you going. And that's what I'm saying. Like for the UFC, this is just kind of the slowest point. And if anything, you should say this is how great the UFC is. Because even when they do have cards, 2 out of the next 3 weeks, it's still like their expectations for what the UFC are so high that even with cards, you're like, it's just kind of a letdown for what the UFC is.
I'm gonna jump in here and counter you some more with this card because I'm not stopping. All right, we got our very own Cody Durden is on this card. All right, another reason to be excited. A bunch of hating fucking hippies, and then we got fucking Cody Gibson, our very own Cody Gibson. Both brothers on our shows, like. All these guys connected to this show, to us. It's gonna be fabulous cards. You guys watching our loyal fucking.
I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna cheer for them. I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna root for them. I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna root for them. But that's
we're gonna watch. We're degenerates. We watch every single week, no matter what.
That's true. Join
us. But fuck, dude.
What kind of casual fan is being brought in from these cards?
I mean, I'm telling everybody about it. You know what?
And every casual fan, when you start listing off all these names, no offense to the guys that have been on, we are going to watch you. We are going to support you. We're going to root for you. But if you start telling any casual fan about all these names you just listed, they're going to go, who? For what? Is this a UFC card?
You know what? This. Everybody's been talking up all these pay-per-view cards and then shitting on them, and then their satisfaction rating when I put out the polls is pretty low. You know what? I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to do it for these fight night cards, and I friendly bet you guys that the expectation level will be lower, or whatever's, but the fucking satisfaction level is going to be higher.
That's a possibility.
Dude, this like I said, about as good as the last slice of bread. The shitty slice of bread at the end of the loaf. Like this card's about as good as that.
The one that you crush up to make breadcrumbs with it. Like you gotta use it for some other shit.
And we're degenerates, right? We'll get to the end of the thing. We'll be like, "Fuck, what's left? We have this last piece. We'll still make a sandwich with it, right? Even though you don't want to use that piece, we're like, well, are you just gonna eat the meat and cheese? No, you're gonna."
That piece of bread is for the soup. Everybody knows that.
That piece of bread's for something other than a sandwich. I can't do it. I can't eat a sandwich with those fucking last 2 pieces, bro. The butts of the bread. I don't be eating the butts of the bread.
You never been through the struggle like me, bro. I used to get loaves of bread where it was just the butts of bread, bro. I used to eat
butts, bro.
How you got the bread is your own business, Sean. So you know who's getting the butt end of the bread? Andrei Arlovsky. Andrei Arlovsky is getting the butt end of the bread, and I don't like it. Veterans getting released, the way the UFC is handling releases. I mean, they have a long history of handling releases like complete douchebags. One of the worst stories I remember is from a long time ago, but I still hold on to it like a bitter ex. And the story goes like this. Liz Carmouche, who happily is in the tournament of the PFL, deal with it. She was released by the UFC while on UFC promoting the UFC at a military veterans venue because she herself is a veteran of the armed forces. And while she's at the thing, at the promotion, she gets cut, and like it happens on ESPN. The news comes through ESPN on everybody's app, and she's literally there like everybody else catching news of this. And I just remember since that moment, from that point, I was like, man, if that's how they do somebody, I'm going to keep my eye on how they do everybody else. And it's not really surprising to me, to be honest. I mean, it hurts me, but like, it's not like the worst thing they've ever done. So guys, veterans getting released. How does this have, that's the fucking worst part. Like, it doesn't have any effect, huh? Does it have any effect on anybody?
I'm gonna let Sean go. I'm gonna let Sean take it.
Sean.
You guys want me to keep hitting hard? I'll keep hitting hard. Fuck these old motherfuckers. Get rid of them. Dude, yeah, you guys want me to go the opposite direction? I'll go the opposite direction. I'll dive in. I'll be that guy. Like, listen, dude, if your time's up, your time's up. Go fight in another organization. I like these guys as much as the next person does. They're legends. They're here to fight. They're here to stay. But if you're not pushing for the top of the division, this is the cream of the crop. This is the best organization in the world for a reason. And I know people are going to argue, well, there's other this, there's other that. But the people, this is where people are still tuning into. And if the UFC keeps claiming they're that, then we need to get rid of the old guys who aren't going to do anything with themselves and keep getting new guys in here that are forcing the top of the division. I know you guys are getting pissed at me right now, but so be it. I think there's people listening to me right now that are getting pissed at me, but so be it. I like the new shit. I like the top action, and I'm going to keep liking the top action. I was an MVP fan, right? But I'm still questioning why they signed a guy like that so late in his career. You see him get one fight against a top contender, you're like, okay, maybe this can be it. But now I'm like questioning it. I'm like, fuck, where's MVP going to go? So like, look at guys like that. I'm questioning guys I'm a fan of right now because I'm like, where are they going to go? Are they still pushing for the top of the division? Do I want to see these fun fights? Of course, they make a pay-per-view card better, right? There's a couple of those guys that can stick around and sell pay-per-view fights, but fuck it, dude. I'm here to watch the top guys compete against the top guys week after week after week and compete for something. We were just complaining about cards just a second ago. Those cards are set with guys who have nothing, pushing for nothing in the division, and that's why we're complaining. Let's get guys who are in there pushing for something at all times. That's me.
It's impossible for that to be happening, Sean, because the roster is too big and the UFC is not exclusively at one point the UFC roster was exclusively the top 30 fucking people in the world. Like now it's the top, I don't know, 70 in the world. So it's like it's hard. It's I don't know. Ricky, what about you?
I mean, I'm right in between the two. Like when I look at Arlovsky, especially his last fight, right? We talked about a little bit on post-fight clarity. Catch us on Sundays when we recap all of the events that go on the weekends. But we talked about a little bit on there. And yeah, Arlovsky, when you think about recency bias, nobody watched his last fight on Saturday and went, man, I want to see him one more time. Like, no, dude, that fight was so bad. It was so boring. I don't care to watch him fight again because we've seen it over time, right? It's not like, oh, that's one, but the three before that were super exciting, super action-packed. It's been like this with him. It's just not that exciting. We talked about it being a financial thing. Rob, I know you were talking about how much he was getting paid for that last fight. Can you pay somebody that much to put on a performance like that? No, 100% the UFC did the right thing in releasing him. If he had more fights on his contract and they just cut him, it's okay. I understand it. It's a business, man. Not everybody can keep playing, right? If there's any athlete in any sport, if they don't want to quit, if they don't want to go ahead and retire, if they don't want to call it on themselves, it's going to be called for them. So that I'm fine with. But at the same time, Instagram post a thank you, a little thing on post, a little highlight clip of them on X, something saying thank you to a dude that put in this much time, that's a former champion, that had a very great career. And a lot of people I've seen, I know I posed a question to you guys on X when we did our live post-fight clarity, but I've seen a lot of people already asking the question, is he a Hall of Famer? A lot of people saying yes. So a guy like that doesn't get a better send-off. I'm not saying you have to have a parade for the dude. I'm not saying you have to do some grand, gesture for him, but something besides, we saw from a certain site, a certain source that he got released. Like something more than that. So I'm right in between the two. I'm perfectly fine with him being gone, but just some type of thank you for a guy that's put in that much work. It says something about you as a company if you're not willing to give a decent send off to somebody who, like I said, somebody who's put in that much time, that much effort, and has accomplished as much as Arlovsky has accomplished.
That's it. I mean, like you said, we talked about this before, but I think it's worth repeating again because Arlovsky gave us so many years and so many fights, and I'm not going to let this go on his behalf. And you fucking misspelt his name the first time he came on your and fought up for your league. So you come on, man, be classy. Like I said, over 20 years, I know he bounced in and out, played for fought for other leagues, here and there, but still, yet, man, he represented the sport well this whole time. He didn't get in any trouble anywhere doing anything. I mean, come on. Like you said, you didn't have to make it a parade. We didn't have to do a big thing about it, but a simple post, a simple Even just a graphics, like just that would
Now,
have been
I
okay.
know I went hard on these old guys, but I agree with that. I agree with giving them a little bit of a proper send off when they leave, I guess. Like, send them off on their ship with a flag and say, here you go. Like, I agree with that part of it. I agree the little celebration at the end, but dude, I'm going to stand by. So, like, that's the part I agree with. Like, that, I think that's a little bit fucked up if there's, like, no send off for a guy who's, like, clearly a Hall of Famer. That,
I mean, it just makes me wonder: was like the relationship not good? Like, were the last conversations and maybe negotiations and stuff was it just not good? Did something happen? Because we saw the send off that Michelle Waterson got, and motherfuckers force me to be the bad guy when I don't want to. I love Michelle Waterson. Everybody loves Michelle Waterson. What in the world makes her get that kind of grand send off? Like, she's cool. She's great. She didn't really accomplish much in the sport. Let's keep it a buck.
More than Arlovsky, more than a
Not even
champion,
close. You know what I mean?
more
And I
than
get it. The difference is
more than
she retired. All right. The difference is she retired. The UFC knew she was going to retire at the end of this fight. Like, so I get it. And again, I'm not saying Arlovsky needed that because he didn't retire. They had to release him. I'm not saying he
right.
needed that, but something. You can't give Michelle Waterson this great grand send off and then be like, yeah, Arlovsky, let's just pretend like he was a debut guy who lost his first two fights. Let's not give him the same treatment we gave fucking Chris Patino. Like, that's
Yeah.
all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's
Sorry,
always
Chris Patino.
sorry, Chris Martino. But hey, he's doing good. I saw something like he's 4-0 or something like that. Since
Nothing
the
against
UFC.
him. Nothing
Like,
against
good. I would love to see him make it back. Off topic, totally irrelevant. But there's times to move on, and obviously everybody's got to make business decisions. And like you said, Ricky, thank you for bringing it up. 300,000 north of 300,000 Arlovsky was receiving for those fights. And hey, man, business is business. Time moves forward, and things are what they are. Moving on. Things about moving on. I can't move on any further without bringing up the wonderful company and app that got our back. The AllStar Sports app, available now in all of your Play stores, completely free, customizable. Get exclusive MMA content. Make picks for the UFC, and play with friends and stuff like that. All right. Now moving on. And somebody who doesn't know how to doesn't know how to move on at all. Should Chandler move on is the topic that's what I'm going to jump into, and I'll just get into it first. I mean, it is getting ugly at this point. It's getting weird. It is starting to make Chandler look weird. Like, hey, there's this other guy who was being a douche and totally douched it up and made it suck. And look at all this other cascading events that took place because one guy was whatever's about it. And yeah, he got hurt, whatever you want to say. And Chandler just following along. Now he's making claims that he's getting title offers. Then Islam popped back. I don't know if you saw his reply. That shit was hilarious. Just call that. I don't even want to get into that too much, but that was funny. And man, it's just the situation is just getting weirder and weirder, and I don't really know how it works for Mike at this point. So I'll go to Sean. Since Sean's going hard at, we'll keep it going. Sean, what about you? What you
The
thinking?
bad guy today.
Bad guy.
Yeah, I've been going hard on Chandler too the whole fucking week on Twitter. I usually don't like to go hard on some guys, but fuck it, I'll go hard on Chandler a little bit because he deserves it right now. And he actually had a quote, I think, where he said, "I don't deserve for you guys to take it easy on me right now." So don't quote me on that. Something along those lines, right? So I'm gonna go hard on him. He's been acting crazy, like a psycho stalker, ex-girlfriend type crazy, where he needs to see this person, and like, what is going on? Is it that important to get this red panty night? Is that red panty night this exclusive? And it's so weird to me when this guy has so many accolades, right? You've gotten wrestling accolades through college. You have MMA accolades in other promotions. In this promotion, you've done so many things. And then on top of it, now your peak of your career, you're wasting the tail end of your career waiting for one dude, right? And this dude's not a champion right now. What we see from him, he hasn't fought in forever. He seems to just be drinking. It's like a guy where if you do beat him, we're all just going to look at Connor and be like, well, he was kind of drinking. So it's like, if you do beat him at this point, what do you win, right? Are you going to be like the guy that like everybody goes, oh my God, you beat Conor McGregor? I guess that's cool, but it's coming to the point where it's like, oh, you're in a list of guys who beat Conor at his tail end of his career. So I don't think it is as cool as it used to be. And it's like I said, it's becoming weird when you just wait and wait and wait. It's like super strange shit. There's so many fights he could have took and then been in positions where he could have been like, Conor, when you come back, now I'm in the position where you have to fight me or something. And you know what I mean? You have to go through me. Like, there's so many points where Chandler could have went in different directions with this. It's fucked.
He really could have, man. I mean, this is going to be one of the great, when it's all said and done, the looking back on it is going to be amazing. Like when this is all done and we get to like fully look at this whole thing, it's going to be a story. Probably not a good one though. Ricky.
Listen, man, I asked Michael Chandler a question a long time ago. I want to say before the Tony Ferguson fight. He was on X and he was like, yo, ask me questions. I'm trying to answer everybody's questions, whatever. And I was like, I got one for him. So I asked him, I said, if you had a choice to choose for your career to play out, would you rather it play out at like Khabib's or Conor's? And he was honest and he said, Conor's. We're not in it to be undefeated. We're in it to make as much money as we can. And I think that's exactly the mindset he still has. And that's why you see him trying to hang on to something that he feels is unraveling. He's trying to put together the pieces of something he feels is starting to break apart. I think he's losing confidence week over week in the fact that he's still going to fight Conor McGregor. When he says that he got offered Islam, man, I call cap. There's no reason why he would have been offered an Islam fight. And if he was, that's really bad on the UFC's part. There's so many guys that deserve that title fight. Obviously, we know Amar Sarukian has to do his thing, but he's obviously the guy that's next in line. Charles deserves it before him. Max Holloway would definitely take that, and he deserves it more than a Michael Chandler. So I call cap, man. I don't feel like that's real. I think he's lying about that, but I feel like he's trying to give himself other options. I think he's trying to get to the point where he can see and navigate, okay, is this Conor fight really not happening? I'm not getting the security. I'm not getting the confidence back. Maybe he's not hearing anything from the UFC. Maybe they're just like, dude, I don't know. So it's making him a little bit paranoid, and he's going on these. I mean, he got jumped today on X. Like, he got bullets from Islam, from Dustin Poirier, and from who else? Dos Anjos. He got shot from all of them. Yeah, RDA.
I missed the whole thing.
Bro, they all attacked him. So he was just talking, right? He was tweeting, right? He was Xing, whatever you want to call it now. He was out here saying a bunch of stuff, and he said some stuff about Poirier, and Poirier was like, something on the line was like, shut up before I go like put you to sleep again, or something like that, when he posted the picture of him seeing him. And then he was talking about RDA. Like, RDA said something, mentioned him, and he was just like, basically told RDA, like, shut up, I'll see you at the top. And RDA was like, yeah, I've been at the top, haven't seen you here yet. Like, they were killing him, bro. They were roasting him. And yeah, I think he's just looking for options. He's trying to find that plan B, because he knows, like, yo, if it's not Conor, what do I do? Where does he go? We can all see. I'll ask you guys, do you guys think he deserves a title shot? Do you think a title shot is a possibility for him?
He is the most electrifying fighter. No, just
you know what I mean? Like, think about the guys who you could give a title shot to before you give it to Michael Chandler. That's not happening. And if it's not Conor, think about the money that he probably was going to make off the Conor McGregor fight. Yeah. He's looking at that and he's just like, I have to get it. I have to get it. If not, I don't know what to do. And I feel like it's starting to unravel for him. And it just sucks to see, man. It sucks for him to see somebody that was taking this time off, waiting for the big fish. And I think he's starting to get spooked too, because hell, I did. If it affected him like it affected me, I saw Dustin Poirier start mentioning Conor's name again. And then Poirier says one more, right? Said uno más, saying, I got one more fight left in me. It's like, all right, if you connect the dots, Poirier started to mention Conor again. He hasn't been talking about Conor much. He hasn't been going at Conor much. Now he's going at Conor and saying, I got one more fight that I know I got. I got one more fight in the UFC. Hey, man, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised the UFC if Conor McGregor's like, hey, man, fuck Michael Chandler. If Dustin wants to run it again, let's go. That's the guy I want. That's the guy I still have something to settle with. That's the guy that I know is going to make more money for me than the Michael Chandler fight. I think Michael Chandler sees that, and he's in panic mode right now.
every single fighter in the lightweight division, or not even lightweight division, I guess even at 172, dude, if you're sitting up there not having to fight, call out Conor McGregor. If you don't like Michael Chandler, piss him off and be like, go on Twitter, go be like, hey, Conor, you looking for a fight? I'm that guy. That'd be the funniest thing. I don't want to throw that out there, but I'm just hoping for that.
Poirier
I
can
would love
do it,
that.
man. Poirier is the one guy that could easily take that fight away from Michael Chandler. Easily, in my opinion.
Well, so many things going on, so many speculations in the UFC when it comes to Poirier, what he's doing next. Obviously, just saying Uno Mas. Well, if ever Conor will come around, what the hell is Chandler going to do? Is he telling the truth? He's not a really like known big liar, so who knows? We'll see what comes of that. But there's a lot of other speculations regarding this sphere. Why can't I speak all of a sudden? Anyways,
That is kind of hard to say.
Sphere-
Those speculations regarding the sphere. That is a tough one. That's a tough
yeah,
one.
thank you, bro. I appreciate that. But I stumbled all over it, and I'm here now, so deal with it. And that's where we're at. So, since you could say it so fucking eloquently, Ricky, what are your speculations of the sphere?
Dude, it's tough, man, because Dana keeps promising this giant card, but it's like, is there a Mexican fighter, or is there enough of the Mexican fighters that you can put together a card of Mexican fighters that make it this huge, giant, oh my gosh, card? And it's like anything else, it's like, does it make sense? Because it's a Mexican card, right? Like it's being branded as a Mexican card, and everybody's conversations and all the speculations is Sean O'Malley and Marab. I don't care how many times they both say they are Mexican, neither of them are, right? Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, neither one.
Costa's Mexican now.
You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be Mexican, but the truth of the matter is there's only a few. I expect Alexa Grasso and Shevchenko to be on that card. There's no way it's not. Alexa Grasso is posting about that card every single day. So I expect for that fight to be on that card. Maybe we see a Yair. Maybe we see those big name Mexican fighters, Brandon Moreno and all these guys. Maybe we will see them, which is great. But the talk of it, for it being as much, and we saw Dana White talking about the amount of money that it took to put this card together, the amount of money he had to pay for the sphere. They have to get that return, right? ROI, they got to get that return on investment. So who's the headliner? Who's the main event? Who's the guy that could bring it all in? To be honest, man, I feel like they might do Sean O'Malley and Marab. They might do Sean O'Malley and Marab with everything else being the top Mexican fighters that we see. And I don't know how that's going to be received, to be honest.
I don't think it matters. Like
the sphere, they got to make it huge.
No. I don't think it matters on like who's on the card. Like they
you're saying the fact that it's there is what's drawing the attention.
Yeah, like as long as
okay.
Sorry, so not clear. Most of the stuff you said I agree with. What I'm saying is as long as they got Grasso, everything else is fine. It doesn't I don't want to be that guy, but it really does. She could literally, because of the status of the fight, and obviously, it's Mexican Independence Day. But let's be honest. This is not a dig at obviously our brother Mexicans. It's at the UFC. They just started this bullshit. You guys know the Mexican brothers and sisters been fucking fans of the UFC long enough. This is not a fucking thing. They just started making this shit up. So as long as they got Grasso, it fits their theme. The rest of the world will fill in. It'll feel right. But I agree with you that they're probably going anybody with like Mexican American, American Mexican, anything combination of heritage. Yeah, I bet you they're calling them and they'll be there for that fight. Sean, what kind of speculations you got for the sphere, huh? I mean, last but not least, we know Diego's going to be there. We know Ige is going to be there, right? And
Ortega supposedly.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many people. Like it could be a massive card on depth for sure.
Well, we know who else is going to be there, right? Dana White and Turkey Al-Sheikh. And when you get what do? You get a white guy and an Arab guy walking into a sphere. You get a Mexican heritage party.
Yeah, an Irishman from Boston, and
exactly.
Putting on the biggest Mexican card. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, huh?
It is crazy. I don't know what it's to bring. Like my mind is going to be blown when it's probably not going to be what I expect. I can't imagine they do too much to the visuals on the sphere, but blow me away. If you're putting this much money into it, blow me away. And for that reason alone, I wouldn't be surprised if Alexa Grasso headlines this card, because they are saying, like, if they're putting this much money into the production value and saying the Sphere's the real entertainment and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like sneaking a women's title fight. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that could be a ball they play here, but at the same time, I think they also could take the other side of the scale, like the other side of things, and not make it anything to do with Mexican in the main event, and have like a Connor Chandler headline or something else very big. So
Holloway Taporia.
Holloway Taporia. There's a lot. There's a lot of things that could be added to this card, and there's a lot of different directions to it. And it seems like it's so unclear right now. I'm sure the UFC has plans. It almost seems like they always have plans, but we seem like they always have plans that come together at the last minute. So maybe the reason they're staying silent is because they don't know what the fuck's going on right now, right? So who knows? We have a lot of questions. There's always seems to be questions when we get rumors, but no details on them. So speculation.
That's my prediction, man. My prediction is Sean O'Malley, Marab, Co-Main, Taporia, Holloway, third fight down, Grasso, Shevchenko. That's a fucking card.
That is a really good card.
They have to, though, because it's so risky to do it at that weekend. That weekend's a boxing weekend, bro. We know that's when you talk about Mexican fighters and Mexican fighters that can pull and attract, it's boxers, right? It's Canelo. Like that's who takes it. So if they still have those fights, like if Canelo, if Benavidez, if those guys are going to fight at the time, there's a possibility that they're going to be. The good thing is that Turkey Al-Ashik is the one working with UFC, so we know there's not going to be some crazy massive boxing card on the same weekend. We know that. So that was smart on the UFC to be like, no, bring this guy in, not only because we want him here and he's going to financially back us, but more importantly, we know we're not going to go against some insane boxing card that we're going to have trouble competing with.
That's
how
exactly
this
it.
Diaz whoops up on Masvidal this weekend. They book Diaz versus Connor.
Ooh.
Fucking Mexican heritage. Diaz in there. Boom, steals it from Chandler. Look, tying this whole fucking show together.
Let's do Cain Velasquez Arlovsky. Let's make
there we go. Let's fucking do it, dude.
That is spectacular. Well, based on that note, I mean, I think that kind of makes us think about who, like you said, who's going to be there, who could be there. Some people we haven't seen in a while, and kind of brings up the topic of fighters that are missing in action. There's a few, and when I think of Mexican brothers that's been missing in action, and I don't know if it's just my bad memory, but I'm immediately thinking of a guy who had a version of the title, right? The interim, Mr. Yair Rodriguez. Where's he at?
I mean, his fight with Ortega wasn't too long ago, right?
Yeah, but we do have nothing announced.
I don't remember. That shit feels like 100 million miles ago.
I can't remember the exact date on it.
I know it's probably not. It's just the way I'm remembering the fights. But
look it up.
That's you're not gonna be able to see nothing without your glasses, bro.
Brother, I'm like,
I miss a little bit of the Leech, man. I know he had some neck issues, but Li Jingliang, he's been missing in action. I got a couple other names. I thought about Ryan Hall a little bit the other day. I don't know why that.
You miss Ryan Hall?
No, I don't miss him, but that roly-poly motherfucker came across my mind, and I was like, where is Ryan Hall? So I know he corners some guys here and there, but I have not seen Ryan Hall in action. I'm trying to think of another one. Maybe a dude like Crone Gracie. I hate him too. Match Crone Gracie and Ryan Hall up and let them roll around in the ring because we know they're not going to throw hands.
I mean,
so, there's a lot of guys I don't know where they're at right now.
I just think it's really funny because obviously the news came out today or yesterday. I think it was today because a lot of people were talking about it. I'm sure you guys seen it. Was Travis Brown? Yes, the Travis Brown, Ronda's other half, got released today from his UFC contract 7 years after not ever fighting in the UFC.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah,
weird. Strange stuff, right?
It's just they had him. Technically, they had him on ice. If you wanted to think about it, if he was ever talking about wanting to fight and couldn't, they had him locked out. But
wow,
now they released him. So it's just a weird let's hold on until this motherfucker until we absolutely know he's not fighting. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, odd. Yeah, when the first name that I thought of was Marvin Vettori, be honest with you. That was the first time I thought of when we
That's
talked
a
about
really
guys.
good one.
It was a year ago, right? July or June of last year was the last time we saw him out against that loss that he took to Jared Cannonier. But like that's a guy that's always been right around that top 5, top 10. So a year's passed, and I haven't even heard his name. There's no rumors. He doesn't have a fight scheduled. Where I'm like, damn, a year later and nothing from him. And you know, if Dana's telling the truth, right? What does Dana always say whenever we talk? Whenever he gets asked a question, where's this guy? Where's that guy? He always says, hey man, we have to offer guys 3 fights a year. We have to offer them those fights. Whether they take them or not is up to them. But we have to give offers. So I'm like, okay, is there something going on? Is he hurt? Is he injured? Are they offering the fights? And if Vittori's the one saying no, turning them down, why? Right? Because they have to offer. According to Dana White, they have to offer fighters fights or they have to pay them as if they did. So, of course, the UFC is not going to pay you to not fight. So, for me, I'm like, well, Vittori's obviously turning them down, or he had a serious injury that for some reason I just didn't hear anything about at all. So, that's the one guy I think of where I'm just like, where is he?
I hope he's on the grind, man. I hope he's on the grind, silently fucking out there making himself better. I hope the next time we see Marvin Vettori, we see like a dangerous, badass, more evolved version of him. Like,
you think he was just in the woods going, I have to evolve.
Yeah.
I'll never fight again.
But he said it all cool with a sweet Italian accent.
Guys,
with a bunch of baddies around him because he's always flocking with a bunch. And yeah, man, I hope he's just somewhere like just leveling up with a whole flock and like he comes in tailored Italian as fuck and just dripping, like just looking good.
I got one more for you guys. Yeah, like I'm just thinking about it now, and it might just spark another debate. So forgive me if it does. But where the fuck? I know everybody's talking about John Jones. Oh, you're holding up the heavyweight division, this, that, and the fourth, right? But he's gonna be fighting a guy who I haven't seen fight in forever. Stipe is not active. I'll be honest with you, that fight is a fight that like everybody's talking about and hyped up, and like I said this twice tonight. It's a saying I'm using all throughout the show. I like this guy as much as the next guy. I like Stipe as much as the next person does, right? But he hasn't been in action. I don't know if that when that card comes around, if I'm gonna be as excited for it as I think I should be, just for that reason. Both of these guys been inactive. We all know what the speculations is. John Jones is probably going to be done after he probably wins against a guy. I saw a video of Stipe took off his shirt at a hockey game maybe a month or two ago, waving it around, and I don't know if it was basketball or hockey, but dude did not look in shape. I know Stipe, I know you do your thing and stuff like that, but like, come on, man. Like, it's hard for me to think like that fight's gonna be entertaining. I'm a little depressed too because it's gonna probably be an MSG, and yeah, I want to see John. Yeah, I want to see Stipe, but it's a tail end of the career fight. It seems like so. I'm kind of bummed.
Yeah, I mean, for Stipe, kind of like there was nothing else for him, right? Like we know it's just John. That's the only reason he's even gonna fight is because he was offered John Jones. So for Stipe, it's kind of different. And I'm glad I didn't see Stipe after the Francis fight because that was really bad knockout. And I actually do like when guys take some time off. But again, to your point, it's been a lot longer than some time off for Stipe. But it's a one and done fight, man. He ain't fighting anybody else. Even if Stipe wins, he's not fighting anybody else.
I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but I seen somebody post something that said with Andre Arlovsky gone, that Stipe Miocic has not fought anyone on the current UFC roster.
Shit.
That's insane.
I'm trying to think of who we fought.
Yeah, it is hard to think. Like,
that's incredible.
Stipe never fought. What's his name? Shit, we just saw him. Golly, really, really tall Russian.
Volkov?
Yeah. He never fought Volkov.
I don't know. I'm just saying what the post said. I didn't do the fucking.
Yeah, that might be right, bro. That might be true though. I'm thinking about all the heavyweights right now. I'm like, yeah, he didn't fight any of those guys.
It's just
top ones right now.
Here's the thing: even if it's not 100% accurate, the fact that it all made us fucking pause and grab our balls and go,
He never
like,
can I ask one more fucking question? Is at this point,
no.
like at this point, John Jones, Stipe, they're fighting for each other, right? Can we all? I don't even want to make you guys agree with me. If you don't want to, don't agree. But like, I'm picturing right now in my head, Tom is the real champion because whoever wins that title is going to relinquish it. I feel like to me now, I guess Tom's the real champion, dude. I don't know what else.
Tom's not the real champion, bro. He's like, he hasn't even fought the guy who he lost to. Like, everybody chill the fuck out with Tom Aspinall.
We gotta
Like,
see.
I don't like him either, dude. I'm an American, brother.
I like
just-
Tom Aspinall. I like
Oh my
Tom
God,
Aspinall.
dude.
I
like-
can
I
think that
like
he could
Tom
be a reigning.
Aspinall.
I do
Okay.
think that he could be like a longer reigning champion. Like he can rack up some title defenses. But as far as right now, like it's not like John Jones has just been taking time off again. It's not like he ducked somebody or he got injured. We saw the injury. We know he got injured.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
know why the fight had to get pushed back. So it's not like John Jones is just taking a hiatus and everyone's like, why is he still the champion? Why is he? No, he got hurt. And we know him and Stipe are supposed to fight, man. Whatever happened with Aspinall, the way I look at it is like Aspinall and Blades is going to happen. And that's going to be what's next, right? So look into the future of the heavyweight division, but we have to finish. John Jones has deserved every right to be like, we have to finish the John Jones chapter. He has to close out his chapter. He has to be done with the sport before we can go ahead and crown somebody else that has never fought.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, when this fight's over,
right?
that title's going to be. None of those guys are going to fight again. What is being told as of right now? What the speculation is? So we think John Jones and Stipe will be done, and probably the title will be up. So what I'm saying is,
John said he just came out and said that he's gonna evaluate, like, based on his performance in the next fight, whether that's his last one or not. So basically, he just pulled a fucking Poirier and was like, "I'm retiring, but maybe this one, maybe next one," which we just got to live with it. So
yeah. And because of that, not knowing, let's be honest, like everybody's like, why is Dana White so, and to try to take it to somebody else, but everyone's like, why is Dana White so against Poatan? Why is Dana White so against Alex Pereira jumping up to heavyweight when we see his star level? We see him and we're like, dude, if that guy has an opportunity to be the first ever 3-division champion, why would you keep him from it? It's because of that. It's because Dana's like, yo, let's let some shit play out before I can even think about anything else. Because what am I going to do if John Jones wins and doesn't want to retire, and Alex Pereira wants to come into the mix? Which one does he fight? Where do we go? We can't have two belts floating.
The fans always think about the most glorious doofusy fucking fan fantasy. They don't understand that this is a business. Dana White's not going to take both of his cash cows, Pereira and fucking Jones, and throw them at each other prematurely. He's gonna get all the cash out of them and make that fight, if that ever fight is to even make sense at any point, to really execute it and do it. But for now, Pereira is making all the waves, all the attention, and there's plenty of good fights still left at light heavyweight. He even mentioned it in the post-fight presser himself that he's interested in Alex defending the belt some more. So all of this is, I know it sounds nice, it's like fan fiction at this point, 3-belt, blah, 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 blah. Has Alex even said that he wants to, that,
yeah,
that's a whole
that I know. Alex has mentioned going up to heavyweight like quite a few times now.
So great, do that. But he knows, and let's not play fucking stupid, everybody. He fucking knows that it's not advisable to go up against John Jones. Like, that is the absolute worst fucking way to go. You have not faced not one single dedicated fucking grappler this whole time, and then the one you're gonna face is the ultimate one. Like, not the fucking way to go, and not the way.
Not only the one, but a guy. If I'm not mistaken, John Jones has a 6 or 7 inch reach advantage over Pereira.
An understanding of striking and a mastery of grappling.
Knowing how to keep the distance, knowing how to enter.
That left hook will never land on him. Yeah, the left hook will never land.
At the end of the day, I would still love to see that fight. But like I said, man, what's wrong with what could play out? I just don't see an issue with John Jones fighting Stipe, John Jones winning, saying I'm done, and whoever wins between Aspinall and Blades becomes the guy. They just turned that from interim to the undisputed. I just don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't really care in a way either, to be honest. So whatever, let it be. Let them fight it out. Let it figure it out. To me, it's just like, chill out with the fucking.
And for Tom, I don't understand Tom. Like,
you got a grudge against Aspinall. Right.
No, I know. I just don't fucking. It's just like, chill the fuck out. Like, everybody's always too quick to be like, oh, he's gonna be the best. He's gonna be the best.
John Jones.
My thing is, neither Ricky nor I said that.
No, I think he's talking about MMA community. I think he's talking about like community, which I agree with. But my thing is like, if Tom, my issue with Tom Aspinall is like, why are you trying to chase John Jones all of a sudden? You and John Jones aren't on the same. You guys are two ships passing in the night. Like, you shouldn't be chasing John Jones. Like, I get it why you would want to be the guy to be like, I'm gonna be the one to beat John Jones, but it's like, it's not gonna mean much. It's not gonna mean as much as if DC would have beat him. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been much as like Gustafson would have beat him, or even if Dominic Reyes had gotten the nod. Like, you beating John at this stage of his career, it won't mean that much. Everyone will say, okay, yeah, this was the end of his career.
It's you plus Father Time won the match. Good for you.
Yeah, if I'm Tom, I'm like, yo, let John do whatever he wants. I'm going to carry this shit. Whatever John and Stipe do, watch me surpass both of them in heavyweight. That's what I would think if I'm Tom Aspinall. Not, I have to be the one to beat John Jones. Like, I just want to fight him. I don't give a shit if he's 60. I'm going to fight him and beat him. Like, no, man, let him do it. If he wants to fight you, great. If he doesn't, who cares? Think about beating Curtis Blades and think about title defenses after that. John Jones shouldn't even be like, it's not the same.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. We got everybody's, and I say everybody, not you two brothers, for clarification, Sean. But I've been on X and I've been multiple spaces, multiple different hosts. Shout out everybody who has. Thank you for having me. The reoccurring theme from so many people over and over is that the future, like we are fucking up the future GOAT by limiting the greatness of Tom Aspinall. And I'm just like saying, yo, chill the fuck out. Let the guy fight. And let the guy get the championship and figure it out.
And it's all recency bias, bro. Look, they were saying it was supposed to be Sergey. Sergey was the guy that John Jones was ducking, and he would be the guy to knock out John Jones.
And this is going to be part of it because this guy, he's supposed to be the go blah 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 blah. That doesn't matter. Listen to history, folks. I just want to give you a small lesson. Kind of been watching this shit for a while. 30-year history. The only weight class belt in all of the UFC. Did you know all of the UFC titles were of a different weight at a different time? Even multiple times throughout their history. Did you know that? Did you know the heavyweight belt is the only division that is true to its weight class since its inception? Huh? Well, the funny part about that is the longest tenured championship in the league actually has the least amount of defenses out of any weight class. Yeah. So take a small tidbit from history, 3 defenses, that's all that's ever been done by Stipe. So before we go fucking crazy and fighting each other all day long over the internet on the greatness and the GOAT and how come he's not ducking and this and that and fucking shit, understand that the fucking probability is very low that he will even defend it 3 times successfully. And that's where we're at. So I'm willing to wait for shit to play out. I'm looking forward to Mr. Aspinall's fights. I like the way he fights. And let's just see, because the fight gods are fickle. And whatever kind of shit is on the heavyweight division, it's been going ever since. So
let me ask you a question, Sean, because I feel like you may be a little more intrigued with the thought of Aspinall and Jones possibly fighting. If Curtis Blades were to beat Aspinall, would you still, like, how much would you be wanting to watch Curtis Blades against John Jones? Or does it just not have the same steam as Aspinall?
Dude, I don't want to see John. Like, honestly, I don't want to see John or Stipe fight again after this at all. I honestly don't even want to see the Aspinall John matchup. I just think, like, since they're both talking about it, like, I've been a firm believer, if you're talking about retirement, there's obviously a reason you're talking about retirement. Get out. I'm a believer that John is the GOAT, right? So, like, to me, like, I think as, like, MMA wise, maybe not doing other shit, but listen, dude, like, I firmly believe John is the GOAT in my MMA Mount Rushmore. So if he's talking about retirement and I believe he's the GOAT, I'm going to be like, hey, dude, get out when you need to get out. So if he's talking about it, that's the one reason I'm thinking about it too. So it's not that I don't know how I'm putting it, but, like, that's the reason why I'm upset, where it's like, what's going to happen after this? Because now he's talking about it. In my eyes, where you're telling me now he's like, maybe. What I'm thinking, what I'm already seeing, dude, what I'm already seeing is one of these guys wins the title. I'm saying John beats Stipe to begin with, right? John wins, and then John sits there, holds the title, and he's like, oh, I'm thinking about retirement. And then we get fucking 4 or 5 more months of this bullshit where we have John sitting with the title doing his parade lap while he's holding it, dude. That could very well happen, because you never know what John does. And if he wins that title and you hear him saying, like, I might come back, you know Dana's going to be like, well, he said it. Like, this could very well happen where it plays into 2025.
Well, and just to make things spicy, John said he wants to see Pereira fight Aspinall. He said the winner of those motherfuckers get a shot at me if I stay.
See
If I
that
said,
that too, like the if I stay thing, like that's already telling me if this guy wins, that belt's gonna be held up for at least another 6 months,
but
right?
why does it have to be though? Like, why?
Why
My
does
question is,
it? John Jones? Like
no,
that's
no.
how
But what I'm saying is, like, why can't John Jones? Let's say he beats Stipe, right? And let's say Aspinall beats Blades, and let's say John goes, "Hey, I don't want to defend it against Aspinall. Like, I don't want to do the undisputed. I'll relinquish. Aspinall is undisputed. Aspinall's the champ. Pereira fight Aspinall, then I will fight as the contender of whoever holds the belt. You know what I mean? Like that's a possibility.
He'll never do that. Then
He's done it before, right? They've done it before with John Jones, where he took the hiatus and they had to.
He took the hiatus because the motherfucker was all kinds of troubles, bro. Like that was
but I'm saying like it's happened before. I'm not saying John Jones wouldn't
I mean,
relinquish it.
John
it's just
Jones
a weird
could be
route.
legally fucking forced into relinquishing it. That was
That's,
a lot of
that's
You
the
never
other
know the
thing I was
future of John
talking
that
about.
was a lot of
We
circumstance,
never
my
know the
brother.
future.
Like,
In
We don't
my
even know if he will get to the Stipe fight. He could do some shit. You know
you know
what I mean?
what? You know what? How about this?
go, yeah.
Fuck everybody for disrespecting everybody. Curtis Blades, sup, boy? Go win. You,
Go win,
Stipe, go win. Fuck everybody's story. Fuck everybody
Stipe
writing.
ain't
Fuck
fighting
all this
after John
fucking
Jones,
story.
dog.
Go
Stipe ain't
get
done.
no, not winning. Just take it and dump it and let everybody fucking cry. Just
Yeah.
fucking just ruin the story, kid. Just go in there to fuck all the stories up. Curtis, go take him. Fucking Stipe, grab him and throw him away, and just let everybody fucking cry.
But I
That's
want
what
to
I'm
touch on
saying.
what Sean said. I don't. I mean, that'd be fucking funny. But I want to touch on what Sean said because Sean said something I think that I can clearly see his point of view, which is he said Tom is the champion in his eyes, like he's the guy. And I think the more and more he made his points and when he was talking about it, I'm like, I see it because for him that fight, Blades and Aspinall, we know that interim bout will be defended. We know that those guys will still be competing at heavyweight for some time in the future. So I see why he's like, that one means more to me in terms of the belt and what's happening with the belt. Where Stipe and John kind of just seems like
prize
a
fight,
legendary fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a super fight, legendary fight, things that happen. But the belt kind of doesn't even matter with that fight. Like, who gives a fuck about the belt when that fight's happening? Where Blades and Aspinall, you kind of like, no, the belt actually is important for that because that guy could potentially fight John Jones, and if he doesn't fight John Jones because he retires, that guy becomes the undisputed champion. So I see what you're saying, Sean. The more you talk about it, the more I kind of agree with what you're saying.
That's the only it's just that prize fight feel, I guess, that I'm getting from it, and it's like
If there was no belt for John Jones and Stipe, it wouldn't matter. No one, like, the belt doesn't really fucking mean much in terms of that fight. That's a legacy fight.
yeah, and that's the thing too, dude. You were already mentioning to me, you're like, Alex, we're going on and on about this topic, but like, I just want to dive one more time on what you said. Like, you said Alex Pereira, there's a chance, like, where he was like, well, if I stick around, one of these dudes might have the chance to fight me. Like, was it Alex versus Tom? Was what he was saying, or was it like
Alex versus Tom? The winner of that gets a chance at him if he stays.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know, man. It just so many.
That's perfect to me. But you know what's going to happen? Stipe is going to win. Curtis is going to win. And we don't have to talk about any of this stuff. It's all going to be irrelevant.
But John's picking and choosing. Yeah, John gets to pick and choose, right? That's where we're at right now.
But he deserves it. Like, for me, John not fighting Aspinall isn't an opportunity missed. That's, to me, I'm not like, oh, man, like, how the fuck did that fight not happen? The opportunity missed for John Jones was Francis. That was the opportunity missed. Because he's fighting the guy that Francis Hulk fucking smashed into the floor. Like, you're fighting the guy that Francis murdered. Like,
listen.
He's saying Tom versus Alex, bro. If he's saying Tom versus Alex, winner faces him. The reason he's saying that is he gets to pick. Oh, if Alex wins, well, Alex has a 7-inch reach disadvantage, and he's a lot smaller than me. I'll take that fight. But if Tom wins, he's like, well, this guy's been in the heavyweight division beating up on people. I'm gonna retire now. That's the point John would be at. You know what I mean? Who knows? If
what I'm saying is, like,
he could just pick.
I'm fine with it though. But I'm fine with that because, again, to me, I don't need to see John Jones fight. John Jones doesn't have to prove anything to me anymore. To me, he's the greatest of all time. I don't care if he ducks Tom or not. Who cares? Like, because he's not Tom. If we're getting a prime Tom against a fucking way past his prime John Jones, like, who cares?
I'm jumping in with that on a thank you. I'm gonna thank you on that one because fucking he has shit to prove. And Tom, at this point, no disrespect, is nothing but a fucking challenger in a long list of challengers that I've been seeing step up and get smoked by John Jones over and over and over and over, and the fucking big fucking French doof that everybody was fucking talking up and fucking whatever, fucking folded like a crepe real easy. And I just it's that's it. So thank you. Good point. I think it's at the point of the show where we just say thank you to everybody. Thank you for everybody listening, watching, supporting the show up to this point. Sean, thank you for your awesome points. I didn't really think about it that last one till you said it that way. And John Jones could, freeze up another division, but not in a fun way. Like it was fun when he was doing it to light heavyweights, not so fun when it was fun when he's doing it to light heavyweights because he was active. He's doing it to heavyweight division being inactive, so not fun. I get it, man. Guys, anybody in particular, anything in particular you want to thank before we go our separate ways?
Sean?
No. I don't want to thank everybody. No, I'm just kidding. You guys, thanks to everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks to you guys for putting up with me for another week.
Love you,
old
bro.
motherfuckers retire. Standing on my point, standing on business.
Looking forward to Arlovsky in BKFC. That's what I'm thankful for. Take those lemons and turn it into lemonade with some maybe a mix of some sort that you like. But Ricky, what about you?
Shoot, thank you two guys, man. I feel like one of us at least had a really heavy disagreement with the other two on every single topic, and I think it fucking was great. I think we all did a great job letting each other speak, sharing the points, making good fucking points for each side. So yeah, man, I think that's great. I don't like when we all agree on every topic. I don't like it. Like we need some discourse. We need some back and forth. And I think this was a good episode that we had it. And at the end of the day, fucking love you guys, man. It's all good. And thank you to the Fight Gods, because even with no UFC, there's still some great cards coming up, man. Some good stuff in boxing. Shakur Stevenson, Jorge, Nate, one championship positive banger card coming up. So it's all good.
Duho Choi. Next week, Duho Choi in your face.
We're talking about this week, all right. This week, even without UFC, there's some great combat. Don't miss it. I think we'll be holding spaces, right, Rob?
Coming
up this weekend on Friday night or whatever. So we'll still have spaces. It'll still be banger shit. So with or without the UFC, man, that's the beauty of where we're at in combat sports. There's always something going on. There's always something good going on.
And good point. I know it's going to be slightly off timed or whatever.
I wish I'd know what you were holding up. Oh, I think that's Jorge, right?
Oh, Jesus, man. Bro. Hey, when that thing's worth like 50 grand in like years from now, I'm going to be like, dude.
50 grand, bro. 50 grand. That's how Jorge will probably be in debt 50 grand in like 10 years. So,
bro, you see these collectibles? This is a whole nother show. That's a whole nother topic. In the meantime, this weekend, yes, join us. It's going to be special because no UFC. So we're going to do something on Friday night for one. So time,
I believe 8 p.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken.
There we go. Check your time. It's the Amazon card on one. Getting together Friday night because there's no UFC on Saturday. But also Saturday we will get together for Masvidal Diaz / whatever, however the Stevenson card lines up with us as well. So cool, folks. See you then. Thank you very much, and it's been a good time. We'll see you next time. All right.